What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, CJ. Today, we're going to be talking about entry-level Spacebudz. Off the bat, we have a very relatable fan favorite, cats and dogs. Cats and dogs are probably the most common Spacebudz. You will see them all over the market, typically all over the floor. They're very lovable. They share a very warm place in everyone's heart. There's 1,191 cats, 1,188 dogs, which is the most amount of any Spacebudz. I'm sorry. I had a dog get on my spaceship. What the f? Now, just because there are a lot of cats and dogs does not mean that every cat and dog is a floor Spacebudz. That we'll get into a little bit later. Next up on the species ranking, we have apes. So 1,114 apes. Now, the controversial part about apes is that we have, on the Ethereum blockchain, we have bored apes. On Cardano, we have chilled Kongs. So everyone likes to put together this way of viewing the ape as like, maybe the ape is extra special because of all this ape stuff going on. Again, the same applies to an ape, a dog, a cat. Just because there's a lot of the species does not make every single one common or floor or entry level. Next up, we got the adorable aliens. There's 1,088 of them. After that, we got the robots, 980. I personally love the robots and their different facial expressions. I think they're a good combination of innocent and naive. Now we have tigers. There's 845 tigers. I don't know what it is about the tigers. I like them, but they just don't seem to get too much traction. Maybe that'll change in the future, maybe not. I love tigers. A lot of people love tigers, but they fluctuate in this kind of space, whereas their own kind of territory, and it's a little uncertain. And the reason there are these territories is because Cardano is so new. Spacebudz are so early, in my opinion. But you get the controversial scale imbalances here and there. So if I was advising a friend, or not advising because we're not a financial advisor, I would suggest always finding a bud that has a handheld gadget. There are so many beautiful Spacebudz that don't have a handheld gadget as well, so don't take that to the bank. So you're already at a higher tier when you have a gadget, ever so slightly, because only about 4,500 of the buds have a handheld gadget. Something to take into account heavily, which I personally do, is gadget counts, meaning a Spacebudz has 2 gadgets, 3 gadgets, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. The most common gadget count is 4, and then you get down to 3. 4 and 3, I mean, they're both around 2,800, so it really doesn't matter. You'll get cleaner looks out of certain ones. You'll get cool loaded looks out of other ones. So next, after 3 gadgets, you have 5 gadgets. About 1,700 5 gadgets. I personally love 5 gadgets because they just typically look better. And then after that, you have 2 gadget Spacebudz, which are at a 1,400 count. I usually watch 5 gadgets sell for a lot more, merely because the looks are better. Aesthetics are left up to perception. Typically, if you love something, probably means someone else loves it too. For example, now this one has stood out to me since I got into Spacebudz in August. Beltless Spacebudz. There's only 1,000 Spacebudz that are beltless, and I watch them sell for floor all the time. In my opinion, they are not floor Spacebudz. Beltless buds have a clean, beautiful look where you literally see the entire body of the bud. Another notable common gadget are starsuits. They look so much cleaner than the regular gray astronaut look, in my opinion. Now, we talked about aesthetically pleasing Spacebudz, right? There are also aesthetically displeasing Spacebudz too. Enter in the Unholy Trinity. The Unholy Trinity is a combination of the 3 most common gadgets: covered helmet, belt, and chest plate. This combination gives her a very clunky look. About 10% of all Spacebudz have the Unholy Trinity, as well as not holding a gadget, right? Sometimes it could be overlooked because the Spacebudz has a blaster or a coin. And then in that case, in my opinion, it's not the Unholy Trinity anymore. But when you have Spacebudz that are just 3 gadgeted, and their 3 gadgets are the Unholy Trinity, gadgets. Gadgets can be very important depending on the Spacebudz. When you are purchasing an entry-level Spacebudz, you want to keep in mind you are eventually going to need to resell this in the future. And if you're purchasing a Spacebudz that is bland, plain, if the floor is 10,000, you're probably gonna have to sell it for between 8 and 9 because you are not gonna compete with 10,000. But if you have a well-equipped, gadgeted, clean bud, you might do a little better and you might sell it for 10.2 or 10 if you just want to paper hand it. In my opinion, the gadgets above a pistol typically bring a Spacebud out of entry-level territory and into mid-tier. And every gadget below a pistol, in my opinion, typically keeps you in the entry-level range. There's 342 pistols. Anything more common than that typically puts you in that range. Now, my personal experience buying Spacebudz, in the beginning, they were attractive to me because they were cheap. That same thing happens to everyone because, believe it or not, we're all humans and not space dudes. So, if I could go back into time and talk to myself, I would say maybe save up a little more ADA and find something that's clean, pleasing, and don't rush it. When you buy a floor Spacebud that is not so appealing and you need to sell it, you are going to need to list below floor. And that is not a good feeling. It's not good on mental. Be precise and be patient and find a bud that calls to you. So now I'm going to share with you guys some ones I think are aesthetically pleasing on the floor. Here we have this cat, number 660. I personally love the angry face. It gives it conviction, gives it character, and the starsuit is just dope. This ape, number 4306. The starsuit, the single belt. I like this one. I like the jetpack. I love the uncovered helmet, right? Hold on, let me reference back to number 660. I want to show you what a covered helmet does to the space doink. The covered helmet takes away some of the face, and of course everybody will be different. And it also takes away a little bit of the ear on this cat. Now for the alien, 8334, you have the uncovered helmet. For some reason it sticks out. And the jetpack is just a clean floor gadget. It doesn't make it extra special, but I mean, he's a jetpack in space. How much cooler are you gonna get? Robot number 2366. Again, he's got a jetpack. I love making narratives for my buds. So this dude, he's bringing Rolexes to Mars. He's got one on, and he's gonna like be the Rolex man on Mars. So this Tiger 7142, it looks really good. And there's tigers. Water me, motherfucker.